Hi, welcome to my channel. Very important video, I think. The reason I'm making the video is because it's the most commonly asked question and it's what I talk about with clients, and I get loads of comments here about this. And putting it into words in a comment, in a reply to a comment, is quite difficult. So I was writing a blog post about this yesterday, and I will leave a link to that down below if you want that all kind of this video kind of scripted. And I thought, okay, yeah, that is a good way to explain it, because I've never quite know how to explain it here, but I find it much easier writing stuff and writing it all out, and then than just coming here with an unscripted video and just talking. So first of all, before we start, if you have sent me an email recently, and I have had a lot of emails outside of my members area, which is fine, I endeavour to get back to everyone, but I say endeavour because I have to have a system. So I look at a batch of them and I will answer a few once a week. But so if yours came in after that few, then you may not get a reply for 2 weeks, maybe. Could be a little bit longer than that, but I do endeavour to get back to everyone at some point. Right, now, this is what I get a lot. I've been assuming something different for a year often, or 2 years sometimes, occasionally more than that. I've been assuming this, and yet I've seen no movement, and I have seen no, and I have often seen the opposite. So this is what I get people commenting. How is that possible when I am now assuming something different? The question I would ask you is, are you really assuming different? Because I'd say that what you're probably doing is you're trying to change an assumption. So you're very aware of the assumption that you had to start with. So you're aware of that, and you're aware of you trying to mend something, trying to fix the problem. And the problem was what you see as a problem, your assumption that the opposite is true, and then you're manifesting over it. Or you're not really manifesting. You are stating something different, but from the point of view of the person that actually believes something different, that actually believes the negative. So you're doing it from that point of view. So you're at odds with what you're saying. So as you're saying it, you're not actually feeling like that person. You're not actually saying it from the point of view of that person. I'm just going to give you one thing to do, one exercise to do here, which will show you whether you really do assume something new or not. So sit really quietly, take some time to yourself, just 5 minutes will do, and ask yourself the question, is it my mind that thinks I've changed this assumption? So, because what will happen is the mind will logically think that you have changed an assumption. You've been hammering away at this for the last year, so of course you've changed it. That's your mind, because that is the logical thing, that it's going to go to the logical, that of course you have. You've created a new pathway in the brain, you've created a new belief, of course you have. But the mind does not know what it's doing with this. The mind doesn't understand anything on a subconscious level. It only understands pure, what it sees as facts. So it thinks, if you've been saying this for over a year, you must have changed that assumption. You've got to stop listening to your mind in every way, good and bad. You have to stop listening to it. So then you're going to ask your subconscious mind and say, have I really changed this assumption? Think about the new assumption that you've been putting in there, really feel it, and then feel if it is what you've been saying it is. Really feel it. This is a feeling. It might be a fleeting feeling. It might last a bit longer. It might just be a knowing, like yes or a no. With me, it's like a yes or a no. I don't get the yes or no in the words, but I feel it, a yeah or no. You've got to ask the question, because, and one thing I will say is, if you're scared to do this, or you do it, but you can feel a block when you're doing it, so you could, and that's your hesitation, that's your fear of finding out that you haven't really changed it. And if you have a fear that says, I might not have really changed it, then you probably haven't really changed it, right? If you really felt that you had, you would just know it. You would know it, and you would feel free to find that knowing feeling. So it's about the subconscious mind. It's about, you could call it inner you, whatever you want to call it God. You know, you want that signal, that feeling that you have actually changed this. Now, you cannot force this. If you try and force it, think, oh, I think I might have got it. That's you, because you want that. So you're trying for it, and you're trying to force that feeling. This is completely natural, and it will be a natural sort of flowy feeling. You will know in that instant whether you've changed it or not. Now, you may not get it in the moment that you do it. It might come to you in a couple of days' time. You just ask again. If you can't get, it might just be that you're hesitant for it in that moment, and it just might be a little while later that it comes to you, but just allow it to come when it comes. But that is the way to know categorically whether you've changed something or not. So the people in my life that have changed, I just feel that now. I feel that's the way they are. I feel that I just know that they're that way now. I have nothing in me that thinks, oh, what if it changes back? I don't think that at all. So I have a whole new feeling of those people. Really, you know, people that are close to me, I have a whole new feeling of them. It just doesn't feel the same as it used to feel. Feels different. And that's what you're looking for. Do you feel, if it's a person in particular, can you feel them differently? Can you actually, when you bring them to mind, do you feel them as this new character, as what you've been affirming for, or do you feel them exactly the same as you felt them before? If you feel them as you felt them before, then you haven't changed the assumption, but your mind is logically telling you, if you've done it for this long, it must be true. Now, the reason that robotic affirmations have been working for me, and I don't know whether this one video is probably going to go up before my next affirmation video, because I don't want to suddenly become an affirmation channel, you know, it's a difficult one. But I had some more success, and it was kind of crazy, and it happened completely differently than I was imagining it would happen, but exactly the same result occurred, and I couldn't have seen it coming like that. But I talk about this briefly in the next video. I didn't say what it is because it's not involving me, but again, it was a complete shock, and it didn't take very long. And as I'm doing it, so I'm using a robotic affirmation, I am just thinking about creating something for the future. I'm not thinking about it as an instant thing. So I don't have that kind of attachment to the words that I'm saying, I'm just saying them. Now, if you could do it like that, that would be different, but because you're not so focused on the person you are now and the way you feel now. I got to be very careful not to start making this an affirmation video, haven't I? The key thing is here to know whether you've actually changed that. And if you've been affirming for a year and nothing has changed, and the opposite is happening to what you've been affirming for, you have to know that you haven't changed that assumption. You can't have done it, but stop thinking of it as an assumption. Think of it as a belief. It's just a belief. And when you think about the word belief, we all have different beliefs, don't we, about things? I've changed my belief. When I was younger, my early 20s, well, all through my teenage years, early 20s, I believed in God, as in the God in the Bible, and I firmly did. Like, there was no budging me, I thought, but I don't believe that now. So I have changed my belief naturally. So changing a belief is actually, a belief is just ideology, isn't it? It's nothing more than that. So you're going to change your ideology. There's other ways to look at it without calling it assumption, because an assumption is just that natural thing. Now, I have assumed that something would work out a certain way in the past with anything, not thinking about manifestation, and the opposite's happened. So that assumption of assuming something is going to happen a certain way it's not the same. An assumption, this is why I want to call this more of a belief thing. A belief is a belief you hold about a firm belief that you hold about how life always works out for you, for example. That's not really an assumption. It's a bit different. It's a belief, or how people treat you, or how you feel about yourself. It's a belief, and you can change a belief. But an assumption is just something that's naturally within us. As we go through life, we have certain assumptions. Oh, I think this is going to happen like this, and this is going to happen like that, and it doesn't always do it. So an assumption, I don't think assumption is actually the right word for this. I think it is more about belief. But the one thing to really know is that your subconscious will show you what's really going on in there if you only stop to ask it, and to just bear in mind that your rational mind, your analytical mind, is only going to tell you the thing that actually makes logical sense, you know. But this stuff doesn't make logical sense in the way that we know logic. So it isn't about that. It's about the feeling and not what you think with your mind. Whatever your head tells you is possibly not the way it actually is. I mean, sometimes it is, isn't it? We know and we feel at the same time, but it's about that feeling. And if you are affirming from the point of view of the person that's trying to change something, your subconscious picks up all of those little nuances, basically. That's what it does. It picks up every single nuance and subtlety and runs with that. It doesn't just run with what you want. Just because you want it, If you are still feeling like you are trying to change something, you are actually fixated unknowingly on the way that things are now. So you're holding your 3D as it is by sort of trying to change what is. And like I said, with me, I mean, I've changed many things, but I know that you can't do it through force. So again, with people, I just know them to be changed. I feel it. If I feel those people now within me, I feel them as the character that I see now, which is completely in line with what I wanted. But when I was trying, nothing was changing. Even though I was feeling quite relaxed and I didn't have a problem, I wasn't thinking about it all of the time, I wasn't hung up on it, I wasn't attached to the outcome, I was still doing it from the point of view of this person that's trying to change something, trying to change a person over there into this version of them when I'm still feeling the old version. And that's the key here, either to have a blank slate, to have a clean, clean the slate, like, okay, I'm starting from factory settings here. Think of yourself and this person or this situation set back to factory settings where nothing's happened, there's no circumstances, nothing around it at all apart from it. And again, assumption, I just don't think assumption is the right word. You're just trying to change a belief that you have, which is not fact. It isn't fact, because everybody will experience a different version of the same person. So you and another person would probably have either a slightly different version of somebody in your life or completely different version. It all depends on you and your energy. And if you are trying to believe something in order to change something, just bear in mind your energetic, your vibrational energy is of the thing that you're trying to change. Disassociate from the words, or disassociate from the version of you at the moment that doesn't have this as trying to change it. You don't want to be that version. You want to then, in the moment, say, in this moment, I'm the version of me that knows that this is possible, that feels that change is possible, that knows, that is determined. It doesn't matter, but it has to be a different version of the one of you that's just saying, but this is what it is and I'm trying to change it to become this. But again, that exercise is all really, and it will really shine a light on what is actually going on inside of you. It's your feeling, what you feel about it, it's not what you think about it. Right, thanks so much for watching. If you don't know anything about me, I am an author. My books are all available on my website. I've got Get Back With Your Exes on there, but also there's and now Still Want to Get Back With Your Ex, which is an add-on to that one, but it's all available on my website. And I am a mindset coach. I've dropped manifesting from my coaching when I talk about it here. I will drop it from my website at some point, I think. But it's not that I don't want to talk about it, it's just that I want to really focus on my mindset coaching, because if I can get you into a good mindset, then all of that manifestation stuff, it's all individual anyway and unique to us. You will be able to do that without any help from anyone else. Nobody needs coaching on manifestation really, because it's a natural thing that we do. I mean, people do come for it and that's absolutely fine, but you don't need it. But helping you get into the right mindset, I think, is more valuable, because that is your foundation then to move forward from that point.